There's been a big shock in the world of Formula One. Driver Nico Rosberg, who finally achieved a lifetime's ambition to win the World Championship only last weekend, has announced he's retiring from the sport.
His announcement coming just 5 days after he won the title for the first time, holding off teammate Lewis Hamilton in what was a thrilling championship that went right down to the final race.
"12 months ago, after achieving my childhood dream and winning the Formula One World Championship, I decided to call it a day. This year is the story of my past year and what I've been up to, and of course also what I want to achieve in the future." Security grip going on here already.
He's a wonderful dad, really sweet, really. I think a lot of dads can't really empathize with small kids. Of course, for me, it's even more wonderful to see him as a dad now.
But times, I think, have changed also, that nowadays dads do get a little bit more involved and do the nappy changes. I think that's pretty normal now in the world. That whereas when I speak to my dad, I mean, he didn't even know what a nappy was. Yeah, so I think there's a bit of a no, exactly. So I think it's a nice change there happening in the world.
First of all, it's super brave, and we've had so many reactions. We've had so many personal letters afterwards of people who said, "Oh, you've inspired me to, take more time with my family, or to step up and do what I really want to do in life." I really admire that. And so when he took the decision, I was of course a bit shocked, but very, very happy. When he said, "You know what, I think I'll stop, I'm stopping."
She was like, "Yeah, whatever." Yeah, whatever,
Exactly, that was my reaction. Yeah.
Don't talk rubbish to me now.
No.
Initially, I wasn't that busy. I did take some time off to recover from all the celebrations as well. It was pretty intense. At the same time, though, it was a new life starting, yeah, and things move on very quickly, and I had to start putting things into place for this next step in my life. Well, how do I earn a living now going forwards? Yeah, because all of a sudden the racing goes away. Yes, of course, I have great savings, but I want to keep earning a living. Of course, I don't want to just rely on my savings.
Would you encourage your daughters to get into motorsport?
I'm actually very happy we have 2 girls because of exactly this point. No, I don't think so. Just because I've suffered a lot with him. Obviously, for me, it's always more difficult to watch him race.
Speaking about girl racing drivers, I was in a TV show 2 days ago, and it was small against big, yeah. So small children against adults. And I had to race against a 9-year-old girl, very, very sweet girl, and she's a go-kart driver though, so she does slaloms and she's done races, and I had to race her in the show, and she beat me, fair and square. Yeah, we had the same go-kart, the same track, same everything. She beat me by 2 seconds, and I was giving it everything, So there's girls that really know how to drive fast. I'm working on my bucket list, sitting in the Royal Box in Wimbledon. I was in the Monaco national team as a tennis player when I was young, and it was really a potential career route at one point. My mum was sort of encouraging me that way, my dad more to the racing, funnily enough. But then I chose the racing. So tennis has always been a passion. I've always watched all the tennis. Big fan of Federer, of course. And then finally, centre court, Royal Box, wow, magical, yeah, legendary, magical. To watch Federer when he was on his way to his 8th title, which is one of the biggest achievements the sport world has ever seen. You're in awe of what you see, yeah, and the English etiquette that's there, yeah, and the peacefulness. I mean, this whole space just is so quiet, and you hear every little bounce and every little drop. So we're sitting here in my favorite coffee shop here in Monaco, and just waiting for Chris Froome now to arrive. So it'll be great fun to go for a ride with him, and we're going to go ride around the F1 track. I can talk a little bit about my experiences on the track, the different corners to him. So it'll be great. I'm looking forward to it.
Nico.
Hi Chris.
How you doing?
Good, you?
Good to see you.
Yeah, good to meet you. Good fun, I'm excited.
Yeah,
so for a ride.
Yeah, go check out the F1 circuit.
Let's go. So here's pole position coming up. I had the pleasure to be.
So you were in pole, weren't
in
you,
this
on
spot
the?
for quite a few times.
I guess on the Monaco circuit, especially, pole position is even more important.
It's all of them. It's like almost 80% of the race win is done in qualifying.
That's incredible.
Because if you get to that first corner first,
yeah,
then it's very, very likely that you'll
pass.
win. Yeah.
Unless you make a big mistake.
Yeah, exactly. What's the biggest one-day race for you guys? Like the Olympics?
Yes, that's just World Champs or Olympics.
World Champs or Olympics. So that's what the Monaco race is to us in racing. It's the race to win, because it's the most difficult race, the most legendary race. And for me, it's special because I've grown up here, so I've lived here all my life.
Have you really?
Yeah, so I've gone to school here. My school is right over there on the harbour, right above the Formula 1 paddock. So every year I'd look down on the legends and
no ways.
And dream that I want to be there one day.
I remember the headlights. I remember the feeling so black and white. Whispering what we've become.
With your sport, you can see the pain in your face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
But
you
in
guys.
our sport, we suffer. Often we suffer exactly the same way.
Yeah.
But you just don't see it so much.
Yeah.
And that's a really big pity. And that takes some of the excitement away sometimes in our sport.
Yeah, 100%.
Because the spectator can't see
I mean, I had
how on the edge.
Yeah, I had no idea it was like that. So that's, I mean, yeah, it would be fascinating for people to actually see that.
Exactly.
Firsthand.
You know, we're heart rate, we're 180, 190 for the last hour of the race.
Wow.
That's why, for example, I was always trying to swim a lot in my training.
Okay.
Because I thought it's probably good to teach the body to not be able to breathe properly,
to be starved a little bit.
In exertion.
Wow, that's fascinating. Just in 5 minutes I've learned so much.
So I stopped cycling last year because in the summer I was really breaking my head about how can I lose another kilo last year, in the middle of the season.
Yeah.
And I can't go on a diet in the middle of the season because it's just mentally and physically too tough.
Yeah.
You know, it's not the right thing to do. And so I stopped cycling to lose the leg muscles. And so I lost 1 kilo of leg muscles in the summer. And in Japan, after the summer, I was on pole by 0.03 of a second from Lewis.
Okay.
And the leg muscles were 0.04 of a second. And that then got me the big championship lead because I won that race.
That's a really cool story, actually, of how it actually worked out. Like, you actually had to stop cycling to use that lose that extra kilo.
Yeah. There's annoying TV work and there's fun TV work. Today is the fun TV work because it's easy. I mean, with Chris joining, it's great because I'm a fan of the sport and I cycle a lot myself and I've watched all of Chris's success. Yeah, cheers, Nico. That was good fun. I mean, it's just absolutely fascinating for me to learn a little bit more about F1 and to hear actually how physical it is. I mean, I have to admit, I've watched it on TV a few times and just thought, they just sit in the car. I mean, yeah, those guys, they must be really skilled at getting around all the corners the way they do. But at the end of the day, they're sitting in a car. Like they're not pedaling, they're not. But to hear, they have no idea what it means to suffer.
To suffer, exactly. No, but to hear that you were, I mean, every F1 driver sits there basically sweating at 190 beats a minute for 2 hours in a race. It's just yeah, absolutely. It does put things into perspective a bit.
And now off for a big training ride, yeah?
Yeah, I've got to get back into it. I've had a bit of time off now, so I need to start getting back into shape again and start getting ready for the new season.
If it's okay, I might join you on one then one of these days.
Very welcome.
That'd be cool. Very special place, Oxford Union. Very special people have come here and spoken here, I believe. Einstein. Okay. That's big shoes to fill.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The reigning Formula One World Champion. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Nico Rosberg.
Which engine do you prefer, the V8 or the V6?
The sound in our sport is goosebumps, yeah? And V10 was incredible, yeah? The sound on that just unbelievable, and I wish we could go back to that. Because it's so difficult. Yeah, the manufacturers and the sport needs to show that we're thinking about the future of the world, and the manufacturers want to have their technologies that are relevant to their road cars. Yeah, which is small engines and turbos. So yeah, you can understand that, but for the fans and for the sport as well, the entertainment factor, V10s. Yeah, because that's just so special. And today I was at the track, you know, and the V6s, they just sound, they don't sound good. It's unfortunately.
It's like a little motorbike. Like a moped.
Moped?
Yeah.
Yeah, like a moped. Great to see how enthusiastic they were about our sport. Yeah? I mean, everybody knew Formula One, everybody loved it and knew exactly all the details. That was very surprising. Didn't expect that. So yeah, perfect. I do the stuff that's along the lines of my passions, and Oxford, I would have almost gone that English university route. I had a place in Imperial College actually to study aeronautics. It's special to go speak there, where previously Einstein had been sitting in that seat where I was sitting. To go there and speak to the students who are going to be there, the most intelligent people that are living on this planet, the students there, yeah, and they're going to do incredible things. Wow, that's amazing. It's for the doctors to virtually practice operating on humans.
Thumbs on those blue buttons for 3 seconds. And once you do, you can hold them in. And now the wheel is gone, and we drive backward. So you can stretch out your leg, and now we could do whatever.
Wired is again that startup world where I also, it's important for me to build credibility in that area, yeah, so that people take me seriously. Because one thing is me thinking that I can do it, but if people don't take you seriously, that's not going to be any benefit, you know. So it takes a bit of time to build some credibility. The general Formula One driver is a big narcissist, you know, in love of himself and thinks he's the best in the world, and it's always the other guy's fault. That gives you a certain strength in this crazy environment where you're judged by millions and millions of people every little moment what you're doing. There's some prejudice in the business world when it comes to F1 racing drivers because they don't necessarily expect you then to have other competences. I was more on the other side. I'm more sensitive, less narcissistic, and so. But you know, so at times difficult. Yeah. But the strength then questioning myself all the time. When I stopped, I had savings from my career, yeah, and I need to do something with them now, yeah. And one thing is that, of course, being passionate about cars are going to change our planet very, very soon, yeah, and mobility in general. It's going to revolutionize our lives, yeah. So we're going to electric cars, which in the long term will also improve emissions and global warming and all that, not immediately, because electric cars as such don't actually improve that. It's when the infrastructure improves as well to feed the electric cars with energy. So when you get more solar power, more wind turbines and things. And then autonomous cars is going to be huge for the way we live, yeah? for everything. Efficiency in our lives, ease of living, massive. I mean, it's going to change everything. With the push of a button, a drone will land here, you know, or wherever, a man-carrying drone, jump in, just takes us to the next destination. No flying person required, it's just autonomous. It'll be awesome, and this is just around the corner, yeah? So it's an exciting time, and I've always loved startups because in the startup world, there's fascinating people. People who are daring, people who are inventive, creative geniuses, and to meet with those people and discuss has always been interesting, and now I'm really digging into that, so it's been a cool ride, and that's why also going to Silicon Valley. That is the ultimate epicenter of startups. People are not scared to fail over there. Yeah? In our society, people are really scared to fail, and that holds us back. Yeah? Over there, it's normal to fail, and you're expected to fail. Yeah? And that was very powerful to see.
So are you prepared to go out on a limb and invest some money in your time and prepared to fail?
I don't like failing. I don't like losing. So that's going to be difficult, yes.
5 years' time, 10 years' time, where is Nico Rosberg and what is he doing?
That's not an easy question. Really important for me is that I find a good balance personally in my life, yeah? That I'm very happy, at ease with life. I spent a lot of time working with a mental trainer, even studying the whole psychology, philosophy, many years. And so in 10 years' time, I would like to see myself even better positioned for myself, for my family. It could be being a manager and having a couple of drivers, because that's something I can see now with Kubica as well, that I enjoy that, because you can really experience similar emotions to when you're driving yourself, yeah? And so that's cool, because the emotions when you win and have success as a driver, it's so intense, so special. It's not easy to find that so quickly elsewhere in life, yeah? But there's an opportunity if you work with other drivers and support them and become part of their team to relive some of those emotions. So that could be something then in the longer term.
So if you hadn't won the world title in 2016, if it had gone against you in the last race, would you have continued?
So going into the last race, I was on the starting grid, yeah? And absolutely one of the most intense or even nervous moments, I think, in my life, yeah? Because this is the start to something that's going to decide if I get my dream or not. And you never know in F1 if you get a second chance, because you rely on your car. So the rules were changing. The rules are totally different this year. No idea. Is Mercedes still going to be able to build the car? So I knew it was crucial, you know, and I've done so much meditation and so much everything, yeah? Nothing helped in that moment. And the only thing that helped was suddenly the realization this could be my last race, because I knew if I win, I'm stopping. And that gave me clarity all of a sudden to take in and enjoy the moment, because it's the last one. So very strange, and therefore I knew that if I would win, I'd stop. It was very clear that if I don't win, I continue, because I don't ever give up, and I want to achieve what I set out to do.
Lewis Hamilton's just become a 4-time world champion. Quite incredible achievement, but you're the only guy who's really taken him on head-to-head and beaten him to the world title. So how does that make you feel?
Yeah, it's very nice to hear that. And I'm very proud of that as well. And that makes my achievement a little bit more special to me, yeah, because I know that next to me was Lewis, and Lewis is an incredible driver. And to have beaten him in the way that it all happened, it's perfect.
Can I talk to you about fear? Does that enter your mind? Did it something that you were able to force out as a young driver?
I'm not quite as crazy as some of the other guys out there, so fear did come into my mind sometimes. One example was Baku in 2016, actually, because we were doing 360 on the straight or something, or 350, 230 mile an hour in the city, yeah? And then you're jumping along on the straight, and on the left-hand side is the pit lane entry. And so there's a perpendicular wall to you, yeah? And going past there every single lap and thinking, if something fails here now in the car and I go into that, it's finished, yeah? And so there's the few moments that I've had where I've been a bit scared. Fortunately, it never slowed me down. It's okay.
Your most satisfying race win?
Most satisfying, one of the most satisfying ones was winning Monaco for the first time. My father always told me, since I was young, that there's two things you got to tick off as a Formula 1 driver. It's winning Monaco and winning the World Championship. And Monaco, even more special for me because it's my home. So I'm driving through my streets. Yeah, my way to school is the way through the tunnel where my mom used to drive me to school. And then I was first through the whole entire weekend in every single free practice session, in qualifying, in the race, never passed at any point in time, to share it with the friends, the family, our prince, to share it with our prince. Wonderful.
And your most embarrassing moment in Formula One? Was there a time where you just...
I had way too many. It's horrible, those ones. It's really not good. I mean, example, took out my teammate Mark Webber in the first year, last race. Another one, Singapore with Williams again, running second. Singapore, that was would have been such a great achievement. And then I run over the white line on the pit exit. Come on, I mean, who does that? And there's so tough moments when you do something so stupid, yeah?
Have you had a situation this year where maybe some Formula One fans have said to you, "Oh, Nico, we're really disappointed that you retired. You did."
Every day. Every day.
Every day.
It's a mix. A lot of people say, "Oh, so cool. I mean, happy that you found your way and you achieved what you set out to do." And even a lot of people saying, "Oh, I can understand that you've taken, that you stepped away." And some people saying, "Oh, it's such a pity. We would love to see you battle Lewis again for a couple more years and be in the mix there right at the front again." So it's a mix, which is normal, and I understand that, of course, because it was a pretty extreme thing to do, and some people understand, some people don't. But for me, it was the right thing. So jet skiing time with my daughter. Looking forward to it. Last one of the year, which would be cool. Gonna wear a wetsuit. This is for the person who forgot his swimming trunks, which is me, which was definitely not very clever. With everything that we have in life, one of the most important things and one of the most special things is friends and family, yeah? Because that's where you get the most pleasure from. And it sucks because in our lives, that's like we spend so little time with our friends and family, yeah? Because we're so busy working and doing everything else. That's really a pity that we're so bad, all of us, in doing that, yeah? And so that was an incredible day, yeah? Taking on a yacht here south of France, it doesn't get better than that. Beautiful day, laughing, eating, messing about on jet skis. That's, for me, really as good as it gets, personally. Vettel? Vettel? Non plus. Alonso.
Oui, Alonso, oui.
Alonso. So I asked her if she knew Formula One. She said yeah, and I asked her what names she knew, and so started with my name. Nope, didn't know that. Then Hamilton, yeah, knew Hamilton. Schumacher, yeah. Vettel, no clue. Je vais m'excuser, madame. J'ai juste fait, on continue. But you need to chop that out, though, please.